seen outside. Our panel joining us now, Denise Gitsham is from NewsNation, is a political contributor, but also a former Republican congressional candidate from California and founder and principal of Vitamin D Public Relations. Naveen Nayak is also joining us. He's the president and executive director for the Center for American Progress Action Fund. Denise, let me start with you, get a quick thought on these protests that we've seen developing and, you know, what you've seen not only today, but the last few days on American college campuses. Columbia has kind of become the poster child for all of this. What are your thoughts on it?
My heart breaks for those who are inciting violence by calling themselves Hamas, threatening Israeli students who, by saying that they are Hamas and that every single day is going to be October 7th. I mean, the violence, you know, I'm a lawyer as well. And I learned in First Amendment law that private institutions are not bound by the First Amendment to the extent that they extend free speech rights. It's not a free pass to threaten, harass, or otherwise violate the rights of other students. And that if we learned anything from January 6th, it's that you're certainly not allowed to incite violence with your speech. And I know that's probably not the majority of what's happening on the campus, but unfortunately, the majority isn't speaking out against the minority that's making Jewish students feel legitimately unsafe and for a good reason.
We did see the police called in Columbia last week. There were 100+ arrests made there. There was 40-some, I think, at Yale today or early this morning, the overnight arrests at Yale. So there have been some arrests. Your view, should more be done? I mean, how do you look at all this?
Well, I think the one thing I will note that was just mentioned is that you actually have seen Democratic elected officials denounce the violent statements, the anti-Semitism from President Biden, the governor, the mayor. And so there has been a consistency to really denouncing that kind of speech and inciting hatred. I think that what they are also recognizing is there is a moment of concern and agitation and advocacy that should be peaceful, that the vast majority of people that are engaged in that are being peaceful, and there's got to be space for that as well.
Let me ask you one political question, Naveen, then. You brought up Democratic politicians. What about this issue? This is the issue we used to talk about in the election, about young people angry about the war, essentially, which is driving these protests. And now you heard the president a few minutes ago coming out against the protesters, understandably, about anti-Semitism, but still, for his political base, how big of an issue is this politically, Naveen?
I think the way he's come out on that piece, I think, is not divisive. I think the vast majority of Americans hear the sort of hateful speech that you've sort of shown on the show today, and have the same reaction, that it should be denounced, that there is no place for it. In fact, many of the people who organize these encampments have denounced that kind of speech. So I think on that front, there's a lot of consistency, and I think we sometimes give too much attention. We shouldn't ignore it, but give too much attention to very few voices. I think, obviously, on the issue more broadly, I think the president is very committed to trying to find a peaceful solution that both involves, bringing back the hostages that are still left there and ending the violence in Gaza as well.
Yeah, none of that's easy. None of it is easy. Denise, final view on this, and then I want to switch topics. There's another big political topic I want to get into in a second.
I mean, I want to commend. Yeah, I want to commend President Biden for coming out. As a Republican, it is very heartening to see that when people can cross aisles to stand for what's actually right, for real principles that we stand for as Americans, against people who are standing very much on the fringe of America, but somehow have commanded a much greater audience than they should for the hatred that they espouse. I think it's fantastic that the White House came out with this language today and said that silence means you're being complicit. So let's hope that the Columbia administration and all who sit in that supposedly peaceful encampment believe the same thing as the president that they supposedly follow.
Okay, you want to talk about crossing the aisle?